Good morning! We're back with more cross-stitch, working on our place square here. Got some King Giz, Nonagon Infinity to start off with music here, because I just felt like listening to it and it's a banger. So let's take a look at our pattern and see where we want to start here. So we're making some good progress on it. And see the full, what we've got done. We're working on finishing up this area here. And we have that all still left, so we're getting there. Making progress. That's the important part. All right, let's do this little bit up here. Welcome, filling in the gap. Listening to Gentle Giant right now thanks to someone's recommendation. How are you enjoying it? I can also totally switch. I have a live album of theirs here. I can play that next. It's great. Based on what you were saying, I figured you might enjoy them. But yeah, I'll put their I have number one album. Live at the Bicentennial. For some reason they were at the Bicentennial in New York. I don't know why, because they're English, but it's a double disc album that I picked up a while ago. So we can totally put that on the docket next. Number one might be a place to start. Yeah. As you get further in their discography, there's more mixed feelings on it, but you have to get quite a ways in. But when you get to Power and the Glory, that's my favorite. I don't know if I have that one handy. That one might be back in the car again. Or in a pile in the bedroom. I really gotta get those CD shelves up. Anyway, let's grab black and start actually stitching. We can talk music and stitch at the same time. Oh, also I mentioned in passing last night when we were chatting music, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Because they're one of my current obsessions. That's who we're listening to right now. In case they somehow passed you by, listening to slightly offbeat music. If you haven't heard of them or heard them, I can give you the superfan spiel. Or I can anyway for anyone who hasn't. King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard, one of my favorite bands. Australian six-piece, rooted in psychedelic rock. They genre hop like no one's business across albums, and they are incredibly prolific. They have, I think, 25 studio albums. They had 3 come out last October. They're constantly touring. Most of them have side projects. They're real good. Real bad for your wallet, though. "25 albums? Yeah, since 2011 is when they started. This one is Nonagon Infinity. Very heavy psych rock, a little heavier. It's 9 tracks, designed to be a continuous seamless loop, hence the name. This was one of the 5 albums that came out in 2017, I think. And the skin see its wells of life. 25 albums in 11 years? Yep. Did you catch the part where 3 of them came out last October? Alright, just making sure I've got this correct here. Do they sleep? I'm not sure. Like I said, most of them also have side projects. A couple of them are married and have kids. How do they tour? Constantly. Sometimes families get brought on tour. Although for one of them, when the drummer is married to the drummer from the band Stonefield, and they were an opening act for one of their tours, so that was real easy. It's an insane amount of creative energy. Yes. Most of it is driven by the frontman, who also does pretty much all the production and um mastering of their stuff. They have a bunch of live albums available on like Bandcamp and stuff too that Stu does all the levels and stuff himself for. If you want a good starting point for them, if you're digging the 70s prog sound, the album that got me into them is Polygon Dwanaland. It is straight 70s prog. It's amazing. Also, if you're on Reddit at all, there's a subreddit with a flowchart because people are absurd. Because, like I said, they're all over the place on genre. In 2019, they did a folksy, bluesy sort of album, followed immediately the month after by a thrash metal album. Oh, man. They also do a unique set list every live show. I go and see them every chance I get when they're even remotely nearby. They've been doing marathon shows in various places lately. Nowhere nearby enough for me to justify, though. You can also potentially jam some Murlocs today. A couple of the members of this band are in the Murlocs. They're more bluesy. I got to see them live recently too. It was great. A lot of Zappa recently. Yeah, they're speaking of prolific and out there and creative tour de force. I've never really clicked with Zappa. But I definitely respect the heck out of the music. But as evidenced by my double disc live Gentle Giant, I wasn't kidding when I said I listened to my dad rock on my dad media format. Yeah, I don't mind the more like opera sort of stuff. It's the stuff that gets real kind of noisescapey that I kind of bounce off a bit. I go back and try some of it out once in a while and see if it'll click, but that's one of those things. Vultures got approaches, final hearing. What else am I gonna do? And also, this is very fun music talk for me because I'm so used to a lot of my favorites and whatnot being not stuff that people generally want to are to most people's palate, which is totally fine. I will write those down. A pencil. Well, I'm not against rock operas. Okay. And now I kind of want to just play the Viagra Boys album I mentioned. I have to run down to the car and get it. And turn on the car because it's currently physically in the CD player. But the name of that one is Cave World. It's real good. The first track off of it that I heard made me think of if Devo. Like if Devo had continued to make music. Had a lot of very reminiscent like synth tones and whatnot. Vultures flying at my star. Parasites are eating more and more. So if you like rock operas, Murder of the Universe is an interesting listen by Giz. It's 3 different kind of separate rock operas about different things, including a spoken word one that's basically a spin-off of this album, and then one that's narrated by a robot voice about a robot who wants to do the things that cyborgs can't do, which is die and vomit. The first suite did need to grow on me because it's very repetitive, but I eventually clicked with it. Oop, only 2, not 3. Pull this stitch here. Alright, we're just gonna do this way. Only miss a beat once I missed a beat. Only miss a beat once I missed a beat. Only miss a beat once I missed a beat. Only miss a beat. Say some things I can warn you about if you start kind of randomly perusing their discography. Their old stuff is very garage. Eyes Like the Sky is one of the band members' dads is big into US Western history. So he wrote a story and it's spoken word with them doing background music. Trying to think here. They have some microtonal stuff. They started off with one album and then went back and did a couple more with custom modded instruments. Paper Mache Dream Balloon is very like 60s psych poppy acoustic. Infest the Rat's Nest is the thrash metal one. Yeah, that's about right. It's got a very kind of culty following. Mostly not too bad, but it's got some of the problems you'd expect from that sort of following, so generally very friendly though. Most of the people who get weird about it get sort of politely told to knock it off. Which is a nice change of pace from some of the other music fandoms. Recently, they've been having a problem with mosh pits at their shows, with people being way too aggressive. But from what I've been hearing, that's sort of just an all over the place problem. I think a lot of that is due to a lot of people coming of concert age and wanting and hearing about mosh pits, but not going into them during COVID times, and not having been taught proper mosh pit etiquette, and it's sort of a mess. I personally do not mosh. I am a small, breakable human. And I'm the dork that, Dad always taught me the best place to stand at a standing room show is right in front of the soundboard. 'Cause you're hearing what the audio guy's hearing. So you're getting the best possible mix. And also sometimes you have barrier to lean against, and it gives you usually at least a couple of rows of insulation from the pit. And you're away from the speakers a little bit, so it's not quite so loud. Although now I have a pair of, concert earplugs that reduce decibels without sacrificing audio quality. I wish those were affordable and more of a thing when I was younger. Oh, I would have saved some hearing, I tell you what. It's like 15, 20 bucks. Because I couldn't stand the foam, shooting ones because they muddied the sound quality. Because I'm a dork like that. Scariest pit was Slayer, best was Pixies, most dangerous in different ways. Yeah, I've seen some crazy pits, but not my jam. I have been fortunate to see quite a few concerts. I have a lot of very similar taste in music to my parents, which was handy because they also liked going to concerts. So if there was a show coming into even remotely the area that I wanted to see, I knew which parent to pitch it to. New York hardcore going to gigs in the 90s? Yeah, no thank you. I have fond memories. My first show without a parent was Coal Chamber in town. And it was in town, so it wasn't too bad. I went with my best friend. I was in middle school. My mom gave me her cell phone to call when the show got done. And back then, cell phones were the giant gray bricks. She had it for emergencies and had 15 minutes of call time a month. So I had to shove that in my hoodie pocket. That was a fun show, though. But that was so we could call when we were done and she could pick us up. Man, ticket prices were cheap in those days. Crappy hole in the walls now. Like Milwaukee, the venue that was just a pit. It was a pit then. It's gotta be worse now. It's like $15 tickets. Now they're like 40. It's not just Ticketmaster, but yeah. They certainly have not helped. What's kind of nice is a lot of stuff that is super super local, like at the local arena, is through its own ticketing company. So it's not so bad. And a lot of indie bands and smaller venues are moving to like AXS. Because the last couple shows I've been to have been through there. The Murlocs and I got to go see Twin Temple. So those were super cheap tickets. Also would go see again their Satanic Doo-Wop. And it's hilarious and they're fantastic musicians. That was one of the very few shows I've been to where the opener was so well received that people were trying to get an encore out of them. Which, I mean, they can't due to show timing and everything, but yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard people try to get an encore out of an opener band before. It was fun. It felt like a sock hop. So much dancing. The only shows I've been to with more just straight up dancing have been ska shows. Sorry, just checking my pattern here. Make sure I'm on the right spot. I haven't even talked about what I'm stitching. So Reddit, this previous year, brought back an April Fool's thing they'd done before called Place, where it was a big white canvas full of squares. Every 2 minutes, you could click on a square and change its color. So Reddit community, and it was open for a few days. So Reddit communities would make designs and try to get them to stick on the canvas. A lot of cooperation and whatnot. And the cross-stitch subreddit looked at it and went, well, it's basically already a pattern for cross-stitching. So some mad, much more organized people than myself took on actually grabbing the final canvas, running it through cross-stitch conversion software, picking colors, dividing it out into 100 by 100 sections, starting up a Discord, and getting people to stitch it. Ultimately, all the pieces are going to be shipped within country to someone to get then passed along. Ultimately, they're going to get all stitched or all connected. And I think they're looking into museums that specialize in pop culture to possibly be able to display it. They're looking at some sort of fundraising charity aspect for it too. I think people are doing like patches of different particular segments that were popular. But as a result, I have to be especially careful about stitching accurately. Normally, if I make a mistake and it's close enough, I'll just, whatever, no big deal. But since this is technically archival, any mistakes I do have to pull and fix. So I stop and check my pattern more often. But yeah, this is what I have so far. And what I have left. But yeah, it's neat, and I'm glad I was able to be a part of it. It seemed like a good one to start off with. I basically started Monday cross stitching because of this. I mean, it's an internet collaborative art project, so felt appropriate to stream stitching it. And also get some more awareness about it when we were still looking for stitchers and stuff. It's a good excuse to subject the world at large to my music. Since Twitch is not currently doing any live DMCA strikes, what I do is I have it on their music channel that will play on the live version, but it doesn't save on the VOD. And then I had to get a digital soundboard and digital aux cable to. So I've got my media player outputting to that channel in OBS. And then I have it through the aux cable outputting through the soundboard straight to my speakers, so that I can also hear it without it going through the desktop audio. Which, as it turns out, doesn't matter for this because I'm not using the desktop audio for anything. But if I'm playing something or doing something that I have some desktop audio as well, it's nice to have it set up for flexibility. It wasn't too bad to get set up. The VOD sounds for end of game credit music. Yeah, there's a few that'll happen. It's one of those things that makes me think I should do some local recording while I'm streaming so that I can at least have the version for YouTube if that happens. Because that's easier to contest. But I haven't gotten around to that, so here we are. I currently just grab my VODs off of Twitch afterwards. I mean, it's not like this machine wouldn't be able to handle it, but it's just one more step I haven't gotten around to yet. Very kind of piecemeal in my approach. Figure out stuff as I need it. Oh, honestly, if you're looking for a really good starting point for this band, and a lot of others actually, look up on YouTube the KEXP sessions. They're a public radio station out of Seattle with an amazing studio setup, and a very, very diverse music taste. Giz has done like 3 or 4 sessions for them. And Stu, of course, does the mixing on them himself because he's a madman. But they are fantastic spots to just kind of get a taste of their different stuff. Yep. Giz has been on there. Actually, it might be like 4 or 5 times. Murlocs have been on there a few times. It's a good place to discover some new music. But the Giz KEXP sessions are fantastic. Cheryl Waters is a big fan of theirs from it. In fact, Giz used to put on a festival a couple times in Australia for some of their friend bands and music that they liked, and Cheryl flew down there for one. This is a stitch of black. That's why it's still empty. Let's fix that. I have to bounce, leave you alert, get packed paper. I'm writing. Yes, go write paper. Important. Don't you dare let me keep you from important things. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for the recommendations as well. Hey, Gothmoss, how's it going? You just missed extremely nerdy music chat. Is fine. You're used to it. How's it going today? How are the kitties? Dawn of Satan's back. It's you in black. Comes bring you pain. These are good. Schedule point to get their vaccines in January. Well, good luck with that. They will both never forgive you for taking them to the vet, I'm sure. Well, one won't. One might immediately forget. Yeah, I take Washington for a glucose check tomorrow morning. Get up early, haul the cat to the vet. They will hate you forever. That's giving Kuma a lot of faith in his ability to remember it forever. Oh. Kuma hates car rides. Yeah, Mystique hates everything, so. You dared bring her to something that isn't her idea. Mystique is just dramatic. You are correct. The fire into the sea, infinity. Mystique is one of the most traumatic cats I've ever known. Everything is a big deal. Capital B, capital D. It comes a killing game. Road trade. Cats are special creatures. It's true. Sometimes in ways that make us go, aw, and sometimes in ways that make you go, what? Why? No, stop. All right, gonna anchor this. Doing some good filling in work today here. I'll change the album in a sec because it's ramping up to repeat back to the first track. like I said, it's 9 tracks. It loops seamlessly infinitely, hence Nonagon Infinity. Yep, and that's where it loops back to the beginning. I had promised the Gentle Giant live album, so I'm gonna grab that. It's them playing live at the Bicentennial in New York, in 1976. I don't know why they were playing at the New York Bicentennial. They're an English band, but whatever. We got into the medicine cabinet, gave you a heart attack. Oof. I'm glad he didn't get into anything. Also, the inner picture of Nonagon Infinity with one of the most beautiful stew pictures ever taken here. Alright, this is disc 1 of Gentle Giant live at the Bicentennial. I was visiting a friend in Madison and stopped by a record shop and was perusing their various wares as one does, and saw they had some Gentle Giant import stuff and some random stuff in a case, and saw this and went, I've never heard of this. I didn't know this existed. I must own it. It was one my dad hadn't heard of. He's the reason I'm into this band. He's a huge fan of theirs. He's got like import DVDs of live performances, like the 2 that they've ever put out. So it was fun to go over and be like, hey, I found this thing. Did you know about this thing? No? Heh. I also got him into King Giz before his music listening group did, so I'm kind of proud of that one. At one point last year, I just gave him the login to my Bandcamp account so we could just grab all the live albums and stuff without me having to burn him a copy. Turn this back down a touch. Their intro was a little quiet. Sorry. Here we go. See that I'm just doing what I want to do. Nothing more or nothing less than you. Think myself just the same as everybody else. See that I'm just doing what I want to do. Although speaking of bands that are some of my favorites and that I've seen live a bunch of times, Ghost is sort of hinting and gearing up to some new music release. So I'm hoping that's eventual. And it probably won't be till next year because they're getting a bunch of music awards for their latest currently. So that's a band I hope continues to grow and evolve. It's been very neat seeing them rocket in popularity. Alright, so this is the top corner of this square. Perfect. I think that there's actually nothing messed up around here. I think I just ran out of thread and didn't do the last row of it and then got confused and thought maybe I messed it up. But I'm being very, very carefully cognizant of the fact that there still might be something I messed up there that I need to watch out for and fix if I do find it. Figure either I spend an hour scrutinizing it against the pattern and then still worry that I've missed it, or just stitch very carefully around that section and constantly check my placement, because I'll catch it that way too. What'll be? Don't you see that I'm just doing what I want to do? Nothing more or nothing less than you. I didn't think myself just the same as anybody else. Hey, if everything we stitched was correct, we might actually finish off this little section today. If it's not, then we won't. I love truisms. Okay, so there's the 4 there. And it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then this one is going to be black. Yes, that's accurate. Yay, things being correct makes my life so much easier. I not have all you want, all you need, all that you have has been due to my hand. It can change, it can stay the same. You can say, who can make a claim? Hail, hail. and almost BS1. Not here to say you. Never reflect on me. I think everyone, not as my nation, for you are my people, and there must be no change. It can change. It can stay the same. You can say, who can make their claim? Sorry, just double checking here. Oh, and I know you're lurking still, filling the gap, but I will warn you if you watch some of the live footage of this band, Gentle Giant. The drummer is very talented, but he's sort of terrifying to watch live. So you don't get jump scared by it. It's one of those musicians who looks very into what they're playing. He's just really feeling the music. Okay, let's see. Stop and check my spot. There must be no change anyway. Time to rearrange. Okay. Losing where I am here. That's not good. Which means it might be time to... Gotcha. Yeah, hang out, rest, chill. Get sleep. Message me if you need anything dropped off before I go to work. But I'm hitting the point where I'm not positive where I am on the pattern in relation to this, so I'm just going to anchor this, do some of the other stitches around it, and we'll just come back and pick up the rest of the black when I'm feeling more confident about it. It'll take a little bit longer and more color changes that way, but I'll feel more confident that I am not messing it up and won't have to redo any potential mistakes, so that feels like a win. Like I keep saying, archival projects, so taking more precautions to be accurate. All right, so let's do this a little bit here. 3842. There we go, getting some fill in down there. So yeah, it looks like what happened here is I just ran out of this color and just didn't get these few stitches done of that color, and then was worried that it didn't match up and wasn't correct, but it looks like it was correct this whole time and I just didn't put in these 3 stitches. So that's excellent. So let's get those 3 stitches. Nothing needs to be pulled. It was correct all along. Woo! Changing times, watching the signs. One reflection of all around, all around, all around, all around, all around, all around. Lie to you, it's just an experience. Hope y'all like Baroque madrigals. Time away, changing times, watching the signs. All around, all around, all around, all around, all around, all around, all around. There are these 3 little stitches not being done that cause so much self-doubt. Haha! That's okay. It's not like I'm not constantly checking and rechecking everything as I go anyway. Because I totally am. It wouldn't have been the first mistake that I'd had to fix, and it won't be the last. If it was one. All right, back to 3842. They did an album called Interview that's basically the lyrics are talking about the band and history and whatnot. My opinion on it is, it's fine. Not one of my favorites, not one of my least favorites. It's fine. I think it's either this album or around this time period that there's a time period where their label was trying to make them more palatable for radio and forcing them to kind of simplify and be a little more mainstream, and it didn't go terribly well because, yeah, this is not a band to try to do that with. I think that's when the 70s prog was really starting to explode and get more mainstream. Like Yes, etc. But this band is a little too out there. I love them dearly, but nope. I would never expect to hear any of their stuff on radio. One of those bands that was kind of always destined to be music for musicians because it was very complex, very dissonant, a lot of weird time signatures, key signatures all over the place, a lot of polyrhythmic nonsense. And I'm not going to be the type of pretentious a-hole that, like, yeah, that's why it's better and people who listen to it are better. It's like, no, it's just different. And it's very outside of kind of the norm for popular music. And it's a bit undigestible if you're not into this sort of thing, so. No, there's a tangle and I missed it. Come a long way since dumb me in high school, is what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm trying to pull a massive knot that formed when I wasn't paying attention. Oh, and I just shredded an end of the thread. That's spectacular. Okay, this has turned into a mess. Capital M. One sec. We might be doing some surgery and pulling and redoing some stitches. Because it's bad. Yeah, we're just gonna cut this whole thing. I'll see what's loose, pull that, and redo it. Because I want to make sure this is nice and sturdy. That's how it goes with cross-stitching sometimes. Oh, and there's a full end there. There's a distinct possibility I pull all the stitches I just did to make sure that I don't have any loose ends that might unweave in the future. Which is fine. You do what you gotta do. We gonna do it right. It did eventually get released stateside. Good lord, I'm shredding this. Yeah, we're just gonna pull this whole thing. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that for now. No, because it looks ugly. I was gonna leave it and come back, but the sound effects. Yep, it's in a glass house. Rhythmic glass shattering. Got enough that I could conceivably do another stitch and anchor it, but it's so shredded at this point it wouldn't look good. We're just gonna pull all of it. This is the less glamorous part of cross-stitching. I mean, this wasn't a case of getting anything wrong. It was a case of it being a big tangled mess that I wasn't positive wasn't going to eventually come undone and cause stitches to unravel, which that's no bueno. And we're getting near the end of our stitching section here. Oh, sorry. Leaning in to pull stitches. Sorry about that. I pulled the mic in a bit closer to where I'm leaning over my stuff here. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah, the mic is set up with some noise gating. So if there's stuff happening outside or elsewhere in the house, because if Scott's doing dishes or whatnot, if it does pick up, it's a lot quieter at least, which is nice. Or if there's a cat hollering in the background. Or in winter when I'm running the space heater. I'm usually not moving around too much. This I'm doing here is also how I keep bending these needles. This one's about reached the end of its lifespan anyway. I should replace it pretty soon. Ha! Got there. Okay, let's redo those stitches and make sure they don't end up as a tangled mess this time. So I can get a nice clean anchor so it stays tidy and secure. So many arts and crafts are do the thing, mess up the thing, redo the thing, repeat until good enough. More about persistence than anything else. Talent. Arts and crafts are about persistence and stubbornness. Frog game. Yep. Yeah, that's what we were just doing there. For those who haven't heard, undoing stitches is commonly referred to as frogging because you rip it, rip it, rip it. Oh yeah, it's incredibly punny. I love it too. I'm gonna be like real paranoid about there not being any knots on this one because I don't want to redo this again. Mostly because I'm afraid if I pull all the stitches again, it'll start pulling and fraying the stitches next to them if I have to do that too much. Still clean, excellent. Hooray, no tangled mess this time. We did it. Woo! Huzzah! Aha! Lost my scissors for a moment there. Hydrate and stretch. That's a good idea. Means stretch my fabric, right? Like that. Done and done. Yeah. Top 2000 album. Power and the Glory bubbled in the top 2000 stateside. Alright, we need 169. It looks like a single stitch of that. Not only thing he says. All right, let's get our single stitch here. Is to say no. He makes his promise right with your hand. I had to go to work Bye. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you later. Hold down the fort till I can get there. Yay, single stitch. What is to say now? Does continue. Makes his promise right. Yeah. All right, so here we're going to have a little bit of a lighter gray or darker gray, a different gray. Looks like a darker gray, and a little bit more black down here somewhere, but I wasn't super confident on where the black was going. So we're going to just do the dark gray and we'll go back and fill in the black. Make sure we're doing it right. I will do extra thread changes and whatnot if it means that it is for sure correct. We need 413. This might not be enough for all the stitches, but we'll see how far it gets us. Because it might be enough. Probably not, though. That's okay. All right, let's start here. Yeah, this definitely won't be enough, but that's okay. We'll just grab another piece and continue on. I mean, barring any major mishaps, we will definitely finish this section today, or this little spot today, which is awesome. You know, now that I've cursed it. Yeah, I think I've got to remount this between the end of this stream and the beginning of the next. My tension's getting a bit loose beyond what I can fix with the clamps. Makes sense, because I mean, a lot of it is the PVC fit as well, since they're just dry fit and tension hold and not glued. That's going to create some looseness. But I gain flexibility in project size. Should just hold it up in the corner, as long as it's comfortable to do so. Give myself a little bit of extra tension that way. Come on. It's the point where the band has each gotten themselves to a toy xylophone. Yep. They did that at one of the concerts that was filmed. It's great. Oh, I might have enough of this color. Alright, just double checking my work. See, there's sleigh bells. It's festive. We're listening to holiday music. That's how that works, right? Okay, let's go ahead and anchor this, and then we fill in the rest of this section with black. And then we're done this little bit. Woo! That's been a few weeks in the making. Alright, let's grab black and finish it out. Oop. Sorry, bonked my microphone. One of these days I'll get that shock mount. Maybe after holiday I'll look into it. I just haven't had the time or energy to research. It mostly only comes up on the cross-stitch streams when I can accidentally bonk it. I need to move it around a little bit more. Because I bonk everything during the cross-stitch streams, because I have all of this on a very tiny desk. I mean, it's not a tiny desk, but it feels tiny when it's full of all this stuff. That was disc 1. We'll grab disc 2. In a moment. This is a weaker half of the show. There might be a track or two that I skip that just kind of drag and aren't super great. We'll see. This one's good. Octopus is a good album. Man, the tension in this corner is so bad. It's making it hard to find my cloth spots here. It's also tough because I've got the PVC corners because they're not flush mount. Because I just literally went to the plumbing section at Menards and bought PVC pipe and connectors. And then cut the pipe down. This corner will be fine again once I remount it. To be fair, it's been quite a few streams since I've remounted this thing. Last. Woo! We finished that little bit. I can see how loose it's gotten there. But woo! Check it out! We got this corner done! Part of me wants to do the rest of this corner, but the rest of this little section here on the next page, but the tension is so bad that it'd be kind of a nightmare. So I probably shouldn't. Yeah, I need to reseat it before that's gonna fix. Alright, let's move further down then. So this is going to be continuing the rainbow here, and there's going to be a bunch of little logos that have spaces in here. So it'll be one of those, we'll try to follow it organically and stop and start as need be. And do little logos and whatnot. Yeah! The ground does look like a happy face. Is very cute. I don't remember what this section is from. What subreddit did this one. It's very cute. Besides the group of Among Uses, have you found any sneaky ones? No. I have not. It's literally just been the adventuring party. I mean, that's not to say that there hasn't been a couple that I haven't seen, but I've been keeping an eye out and I have not seen a single one other than the really obvious ones. Which is kind of impressive. All right, but I am going to hop onto the atlas and look at what this section is, because now I'm curious, because it's so cute. All right, I have to find it. One moment. Find my area here. We're up a little more, over here more. Good lord. I forget how big this whole thing is until I'm trying to find something on the atlas. Realizing that the stitches that are so big, the section that's so big here is so teeny tiny. Because it's only 100 by 100. You'd think the big rainbow would make it easier. It's a little harder because it's got all the overlays. There it is. Scrap Mechanic. A bearing, the icon for the Steam game Scrap Mechanic. And then there's a demon gal from that time I got reincarnated as a slime sitting on top of him. So that's her legs, feet, hand, and a little bit of her wings. So Scrap Mechanic is where this adorable fellow is from. Yeah! Oh, the atlas is so neat for just seeing where stuff is from. It's great. I appreciate it. So much work in all different areas of this project. It's great. Genesee, whatever. Alright, let's start doing some black over here and extending our rainbow. Our dark side of the moon section here. Whoop. That's what happens when you don't loop it properly like you thought you did. You just pull it all the way through. There we go. Got it that time. Alright, so we want 4 stitches down, and then we're going to skip 1, because it's going to be the corner of a logo. Alright, we skip a stitch. And we do 4 more. Oh, excuse me. All right, then we skip 3. Let me do 4 stitches. Doing some quick counting, make sure I'm still on. We are. Excellent. That's what I like to see. But no for your ramen and out bringing back library books and such. Ooh, fun. Nori is tasty. Tasty and also added health benefits. Yes. Yeah, sounds tasty. We're gonna skip this one. It's not very good. I'll let it play for a few seconds here. And it's this for the whole time for far too long. We're gonna skip ahead. Like, I know they were promoting Interview because it was their upcoming album, but that one's so hit or miss. All right, then we hop to here. And then skip one here. Alright, I start next row directly below. Should be 4 stitches. Excellent. And 2 more stitches. I've got a little bit more, but not enough thread to do it, so I'm going to anchor it there. We'll grab the rest of this little chunk here and see if we're feeling comfortable enough to hop to any stitches surrounding. All right, drop down. Do 3. Another 3. The screaming, though. Yep. The screaming with the reverb and echo. Nope, I feel like if I try to hop over to any of this, I'm going to get it wrong, so I'm just going to anchor it, and we'll pick those up as we stitch around it. It'll be fine. You don't expect a magical 3 blind mice at your prog rock concert? These guys are weird. I think I'm going to start doing some of this red. I'll give a nice baseline for some of the rest of this. Oh, they have fun with it. They're very serious musicians, as all musicians are. The most serious. Oh, you should see their ridiculous outfits when they perform. One of them likes to dress up as an American baseball player because I have no idea. Sure. And all sorts of like Ren Fair glam rock outfits. It's pretty good. I mean, why wouldn't you dress as a baseball player, clearly? I mean, fair point, fair point. Just the most logical choice, of course. Very dramatic drum roll. Oh, right, we were playing actual songs. Not just noodling on electric violin. Not that I'm aware of it wasn't an actual song. I mean, who knows? I'm not front to back on all of their releases. What makes a song actual? Truth. Well, that was very clearly just a goofy jam. Such good funky bass tone, though. It's so heavy and clean. I love his bass tone so much, just in general. So crisp. Alright, let's anchor here. Starting to get our rainbow extended. Okay, rainbow. This part where it's going to go quicker for a little while because it's chunks of color and not constantly swapping. Make sure I'm in frame here. Actually, let me... There. That's a little better. Yep, that's the end of that. It was Gentle Giant live at the Bicentennial in New York in 1976. Oh, here you can kind of see the there's the baseball outfit. Is on the marimba there. That's the drummer. It's sort of the kimono and black corduroy that was alluded to. Not sure what's happening there. Got recorder with like a floofy peasant top. Playing violin. Got saxophone with a very 70s jumpsuit. Acoustic guitar. Got the keyboardist with luscious locks. Apparently there were 3 encores that night, but this is where the recording stopped. Because of space. Let's see here. Well, let's continue being a little prog weird. This is Mahavishnu Orchestra, Visions of the Emerald Beyond. Very jazzy. In fact, this is on the Columbia Jazz label. It's from 1975. Very, very cool stuff. Keep stitching while I let that spin up. Dang it. Man, we're just having all sorts of weird thread issues today. But this is probably my favorite album by Mahavishnu Orchestra. There we go. Fixed it. Very prog rock fusion jazz. Looks like it's playing pretty quietly. I'm going to turn it up just a hair. At the time, they'd probably say this is very world music influenced. I believe is how that would have been referred to. Checked on status. Said they're on order, now has none of the information. It's a good thing they're working on it right this second. I mean, knowing librarians, yeah, they probably are. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I still haven't decided if that's one I want to pick up and play or stream. I definitely want to give it some time to work out some of the bug fixes and get some patches. kind of want to pick up Let's Go Eevee at one point and stream that one, because that one looks like it'd be pretty quick and fun. And a nice kind of revisit to the original games. And I'll see, I've got so much lined up. And speaking of that, we're going to be starting something yeah. I'd feel bad checking that out at the library in case I didn't get it done in time, since I'd be scheduling when I'm doing it, so that's when I'd probably pick up as a result. Especially a more popular series like that. But tomorrow I'm actually going to be taking a break from Ring of Pain. It's been a lot of fun, and I've really been enjoying the integration, but I'm feeling the itch to play something else. I'm gonna switch to a different game I've been playing a ton of offline, Slice and Dice. It's very roguelite dice rolling. Feels like a combination of the board games Dice Forge and One Deck Dungeon a bit. But I've been enjoying it a lot, and that's one that we'll be playing for a little bit. I think y'all will like it too. Oh, over one more. It's when I was alerted to the fact that it exists by a much larger streamer that we watch. And it looked smack dab square up my alley, so the hold being you would make sense, yes. Actually, I think I'm gonna... Nah, we'll just keep going. We're doing it this way now. I was wondering if I should just individually cross my stitches as we go, but we're partway through now. We live here now. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Big mood. Yeah, the Pro controller is nice. I picked it up with the system. Seemed kind of borderline necessary with playing with it docked a lot of the time for streaming. Alright, so we're going over 5. Oh no! Well, once you have a Pro controller, you can contact Nintendo about the Joy-Con drift. Because that was something that was so prevalent, I think they just do free repairs on it. But you wouldn't want to be without a controller for a bit. Oh, you have a Switch Lite? Still contact them. Because you'd be without it for a bit, but they still might service it for free, which feels like it would be worth. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, perfect. Now we just go back, crossing our stitches. This is not going to make it all the way across. Oops. We'll get a few more stitches, anchor it, grab another piece, and continue going back across. Oh, gotcha. All right, let's anchor this, grab another piece. Look, suddenly the back is looking so much tidier again as I have nice, easy sections. As opposed to this nightmare realm. We don't talk about this section. That was the confetti hell section. Easily the nastiest part on this entire square. Oh yeah, no, not well brain frog. I meant to say brain fog. I might have said brain frog. It's very possible. Words are hard. Especially when you're multitasking. I mean, we were talking about frogging earlier. And I was having to do that. Let my thread untangle here. All right, now I need to start 3 in from here, which should be 6 in from this other spot. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. That's 1, 2, 3, and that's my edge of my square. Lovely. Is correct. Alright, we know it's going to go over at least as far as the other line went. And we'll see how much further beyond that. Now, I'm probably going to switch color because I'm basing it so much off of the previous line that I want to make sure that I don't mess up somewhere and have it just compound all the way across the page. In fact, what I might do is just start in this opposite corner and start filling in this way. But I do want to finish this line. There we go. Go ahead and anchor that. Getting a nice start on that big section there. Alright, I'm gonna grab some black and start in that upper corner and working my way across that way. There's a lot going on in this little section here, so I want to try to get edges and work my way in. Less likely I'll miscount something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Excellent. All right, we got that line down. Go down 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And over 1, so there should be 1 in and 2 down. And right here should be 5 up from this corner here. Nope, I'm off. That's a case of maybe I should just anchor and work around it instead of counting and opening myself up to making a mistake there. So I think I'm going to do that very thing. All right, let's grab 814 Garnet Dark. Here it is. All right, so we've got 5 stitches this color. For this column. Right, and one here. There should be 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Let's skip one. All right, then we skip 3. And put one here. Nope, I'm off by 1. Here. Yep, that gives me 3. Excellent. Sorry, trying to get some semblance of tension on my piece here. Then we go in and over. We do 4 stitches. All right, let's anchor that. Now we've partially outlined a T and an S, so let's go ahead and get those in there. Should be nice and simple now. And those are going to be 606. This color. Paper done. Thanks for music and good vibes. You're lurking. Off to bed. Well, thanks for hanging out and lurking. I appreciate it. Get some rest. We're going to be finishing up pretty quick here anyway. Next 15 minutes or so. So I can get some lunch and get ready for work. I strive to be good, chill background. I heard someone once describe their channel as aiming to be premiere second monitor content. I felt that in my soul. Yeah, that's about right. Good to have on with whatever you're doing as your primary thing. And kind of start seeing what I meant by this whole section's going to be a ton of just like little logos and symbols and stuff. It's going to take a little bit of time to make my way through. Alright, we have an S. Let's get ourselves a T. There, we have a T. I don't know what TS stands for, but we have it. And I could look, I still have the atlas open. We've got a few minutes and a real easy chunk of black to fill in there, so I think we're going to take care of that. See if I have a piece long enough from my scraps here. Not really. And I think that was the end of the album, which is about perfect timing. So I'm just going to quick finish off this little bit of black. And then we will head off for the day. We have quite a bit done. Sorry, my piece is moving around a little bit more than usual because I'm trying to use my other hand to get tension on my fabric instead of holding it in place. I will remount this before the next stream. Got that, and then there's a little line here to finish off this little block. It might not just be TS, there might be more letters that go into this section too. All right. In fact, I'm pretty sure it does because I can see there's a border around here that continues over, so we will eventually find out what the end of that acronym is. So I'm going to anchor this. And there we are. Yeah, decent chunk done today. We finished up this area up here and started in here a little bit. It's filling in nicely. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I appreciate all y'all. Have a wonderful day. I will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central with Slice and Dice for the first time on the channel. It's going to be fun. It's a great one. I think y'all will enjoy it. So until next